Hey everybody, Troy Rutter here from TTMFTW.com, and I wanted to do this video to just tell some of the people what it was like collecting autographs before eBay, really before, not before the internet, but when it was first starting, and when I first started collecting autographs. I've always been interested more in the TV and film autographs from those celebrities, such as, well, not such as, but, TV and film 8x10s is what I've always really collected. And back then there was no website to go to for addresses. You basically had a few options. One of those options was to read celebrity magazines or articles. In my case it was like Starlog, I think, for science fiction stuff. And you'd read the articles and you'd see mentions of so-and-so's publicist, comma, and then a name. Or so-and-so is repped by William Morris, and that's how you found out who was representing someone, either management, publicist, or an agent. And then you'd go and actually call information and try to get addresses of these places. Or you could go online or to your library and look up addresses. They had phone books from all over the place. But for TV and film specifically, what we had to do, or what I had to do, was the Screen Actors Guild had this service called the Actors Locator Service. And it was designed for people who were looking for actors and actresses for their projects to call in and find out who repped certain people. And you would call this address, or this phone number, sorry, and you would get up to 3 names per phone call. And so you could call and say, "Hi, I am looking for contact information for Mel Gibson." And they'd say, okay, well, Mel Gibson is repped by William Morris, and then a phone number. And it's just the switchboard phone number for whatever agency. And they're like, okay, number 2, and you'd give them the next one, number 3. And then right after the third one, they'd say, "Thank you for calling the Screen Actors Guild. You have reached the 3rd number request. Thank you for your interest. Goodbye." Click. And if you wanted more than that, if you wanted more than the 3, you had to call back. And you had to call back. And you only got 3 per phone call. And you didn't share those addresses with anybody. There was no place to go post those, really. I mean, you had BBSs and some niche internet sites that were starting out that you could post stuff in, but it was very decentralized. And so you'd have to call over and over and over again. And back then, I'm not going to say the success rate was better than it is now, but there was a lot less people collecting because the information was a lot less, and there was no eBay, so you weren't going to get an autograph and go sell it. And so it was a smaller group of addresses, and you really thought when you sent something out that you might get something back, except if you sent to William Morris. William Morris, they're just awful. Anyway, hopefully never try to get an agent at William Morris. I don't think that's a possibility. But the other way was through what they called the Academy Players Directory. And that was a set of volumes, and they were about that thick, each one. It was a four volume set of actors and actresses in Hollywood with agents or managers. And it would have a little tiny picture, their name, and I think just a phone number. It might have been the agency name. It's been a while since I've seen one. And these volumes would cost, at the time, $200 or $150 to $200. And so you could order them online, or not online, you could order them and have them shipped to you with a fairly hefty shipping fee. Or you could go and pick them up. And so in the early days, I would go and pick them up because I lived in LA at the time from 95 to 2001. And so I just walked down and picked them up, and it was kind of neat. You had pictures, and not everybody was in it because, Tom Cruise, if you wanted Tom Cruise, you kind of knew how to get a hold of Tom Cruise if you're a filmmaker. He didn't have to advertise who he was. But it was kind of neat to go through and look at the different pictures and see who was repped by who, and see the different styles of headshots in them. It was all black and white. And so those were the 2 main ways. You could either call the SAG actor locator service, which might still be around, I'm not sure, or the Academy Players Directory, which I think now is completely online. And there are just so many ways for people to get addresses now. So be thankful. I know a lot of times here when we're doing videos and nothing comes in and we're all bummed, it's like, well, before the internet, before the early days of the internet, before now, we sent out a lot less. And yeah, we got back, not more, but a greater percentage of those. But now you're able to get so many addresses. Pretty much anybody's address that you want, you can go out and find and send something. Now, whether you get it back or not, it's a crapshoot. But it's so much more easier to find information. And places like Star Tiger and FanMail.biz are fantastic. You know, I was on Star Tiger when it was Star Archive. And before they started actually doing the tracking of things, I believe. And I had the idea to put together this tracking site, and I actually had it all planned out, and then Star Tiger came and added that service, and I was like, someone did it, why bother? And now that's the norm for all these sports and TV movie address sites. So I've kind of been there since '95. Like I said, I took a break for a long time while I actually lived in LA, up until recently. And I'm just trying to get back into it, and it's going to take a while to ramp up. So I appreciate you watching my videos while I just kind of talk for a while and ramble on, and while I'm waiting for that giant mail day, and hopefully things will start coming in. So that is how we used to get addresses. Be very thankful for how easy it is to get them now, and that is what I have to tell you today. So thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.